guys, welcome back to Nerd Portal, the show where we teleport you guys into the world of pop culture and current events. I'm not Cierra, she's dead now. But she'll be back soon. I'm Jacqueline Davis.
I'm Braeden Langlois, and I'm not dead. Still here.
For now.
For now.
Anyway, so we were wanting to talk about, speaking of the afterlife, Good Omens and sort of bouncing off of that, sort of like book adaptations. I'm so excited.
Yes, I wore a special shirt for this episode. It says the book was better.
Although you haven't read it.
I mean, true, but 95% of the time, the book was better. 95%. I'm confident in that number.
Yeah.
But so tell me more about like the book of Good Omens. I know the general story. But...
Well, it is like the funniest post-apocalyptic book I've ever read. It's written by two of my favorite authors of all time, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and back from when they were still fairly unknown, and they literally wrote the book. Just like they would write a part and then they would send it to the other one and try and make the other one laugh harder than he made. Like, so that's why it's so funny. It's them like throwing jokes at each other.
I feel like Neil Gaiman just in general is like an underappreciated writer because he's written a lot, but also, well, personally to me, he writes comics too.
Yeah.
And like some of his like comic characters, he's most known for like the Sandman universe with with Dream and stuff like that. Like I think they should also be adapted to the television screen. I feel like all the stuff I read works better as like TV shows than movies.
Well, and even like Lucifer on Fox is sort of that comic was an offshoot of the Sandman. I don't think it wasn't written by Neil Gaiman.
No, it was not.
He like created the character though. He created
Neil Gaiman did a lot of work with Vertigo and stuff like that, which is owned by which is a subsidiary of DC, and so he's they just recently like restarted like the Sandman universe because it hadn't been kind of published. Vertigo wasn't publishing anything for like close to 20 years, so they just now brought it back, and he's on duty writing comics again, which is really great. And I just he's a really good character writer. Yeah. And he's like, because every character stands out. And with a lot of books and TV shows that we're getting nowadays, a lot of the characters are just like archetypes or just like an adjective. But he's very good at having fully fleshed out, intriguing characters. Yeah. And that's why I'm really eager to see this, especially with two like extremely talented actors.
So like, and the like whole premise of it. So the way that the story goes is that Neil wrote the first chapter where it's like, spoiler alert.
Well, it's the first chapter.
Well, yeah, true. Crowley gets the Antichrist and has to go swap the baby in a hospital, a hospital of satanic nuns. It's fabulous. And so he wrote that first chapter, and then he just sort of sent it to all of his writer friends and was like, I wrote this, tell me what you think, I'd like to workshop it. And a period of time went by, and then Terry Pratchett like emailed him back and was like, I wrote another chapter for you, here you go. And so it just started from there.
I love hearing like writing stories like that. Like Stephen King, he was like a janitor, and he would write stuff and then he'd like throw it in the garbage, and someone like found one of his novels, like, this is good, you should not throw them away. Yeah, and now look at him.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing, is like it wasn't written to be published. Like it was just them messing with each other. And then at the end they just sort of go, I think we read a book.
Yeah, this is
so
it's done.
Maybe we should publish it, and it wound up being really.
And
really
I have faith like with the adaptation in Amazon. They are definitely up and coming with their streaming service and their original shows. I have full faith in them. Yep.
Especially because like I've also seen. I mentioned Terry Pratchett. He's one of my favorite sort of like satirical writers of all time, and he has got so many good miniseries adaptations of his books, and especially my favorite one, which is The Hogfather, which centers around the death of his Discworld universe. And so I'm really excited to see Death in Good Omens, because he's my favorite character in Good Omens, because he's got the best line, which is another little spoiler alert, is when you meet Death for the first time, like halfway through the book, and he's playing a trivia game at a pub with a bunch of really like hard, like,
as one
bikers.
does.
Yeah, and waiting for the rest of the horsemen to arrive. And just the question pops up, like, in what year did Elvis Presley die? And he just, all of the bikers are going, no, it's 67, no, it's 65, no. And Death just goes, I didn't touch him. And it's just weird little like pieces of humor like that, just like dot through it. Like there's Tibetans that live underground that just appear for no good reason, just to be there. Like it's
just to be there.
It's absurd and it's beautiful. It's so good.
I will like that is after seeing the trailer. Because I'm a big fan of Neil Gaiman, I was like, okay, I do want to read this book. I've not had the chance yet, but it is on my list.
Yeah, and I can't think of anybody better except for David Tennant.
David Tennant,
to play Crowley/Crowley. So,
however you say it.
Yeah. Well, it was originally Crawley, and then he changed it to Crowley because he thought that Crawley was offensive.
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah. So, anyways, you should read it. It's very funny. But yeah. I'm very excited, and I also like that a lot of like books are being turned into miniseries instead of movies, because I feel like the miniseries are turning out way better than the books because they actually have like time to talk about all of the stuff that happens. So
and it's a plan, like, oh, it's only going to be this many episodes. We don't have to try and plan for multiple seasons.
Yeah. And I quite like that. But also to talk about. There's the new Overwatch character, Ash.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I love her already. I love Bob already.
Yes, which that's like her ultimate move, right?
Yeah.
That I wish Bob was playable.
Well, I don't know how.
Like I wish like that was a character you could select and play on his own.
Yeah, that's true. I'm curious to see. Well, okay, so there's already been maybe some play style things uploaded, but I haven't gotten the chance to watch them. And so like my question is, once you play her, like when she uses her ult, like do you like gain control of Bob? Is it like Junkrat's Riptire, or do you or is he just sort of like you just sort of launch him at somebody?
Backup is what it looks like to me. Though her gameplay does feel very similar to Junkrat's.
Yeah.
Because she has the pump shotgun. It's got the same like kind of range and damage as his little grenade launcher. She does kind of do like the rocket jump because she's a double barrel shotgun as well. And so she feels like a hybrid of Junkrat and McCree. Yeah. Like aesthetically
also,
like
Lucio,
female McCree, but
with the bounce back, like there's so many, like she's gonna be like a really good one for like environmental kills.
So like her double barrel shotgun, you can either like kind of rocket jump with it, or if you just actually shoot another player with it, you get launched backwards. Like it's powerful.
Yeah. I'm really excited to play her. I'm also excited to see because at the end of the cinematic that they released, they introduced the new the Omnic, like the most different looking Omnic from every other Omnic we've encountered. And I'm really interested to see like who Echo is, because that's apparently her name. Somebody told me. I don't know where we got that information, but that's apparently her name. And
don't fact check us on this.
Don't do it. But I really, really want to see if she's going to be like the next hero, and if so, I really, really, really want to play her.
See, I really like Overwatch's formula and how they like stay relevant as introducing characters with different character types, playability. I really like that. It helps since it came out. Couple years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's still coming out with new content. Still has a huge base of players and still can compete with all these newer games that are coming out.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Or even Fortnite.
Or even which it's the constantly evolving format of games. Games are constantly evolving, but like within games that have been released that are constantly evolving, constantly updating and adding new stuff, adding new characters. It's a really good format to stay relevant, and Overwatch does it very, very well. Yeah. And it shows. They've still got a huge base of players.
Yeah, for sure. I saw somebody, because apparently we're not going to be getting a new map with this new character, which for like...
Totally fine with that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Don't need a whole other map.
Yeah, because it's like the same... I mean, they use the Route 66 map, but So somebody was saying, like, because in the last few Heroes, sometimes we would get a new map, or new cinematics, we would get a new map. So, like, when the Diva Shooting Star came out, we got the Busan map. And so I really want to... really hoping that this means that they're going to make another hero even sooner than they usually do, or another cinematic even sooner than they usually do, because I super want to play Echo. I've also seen a lot of people, because a lot of people are saying, please, please, please give us a black lady to play. And so a lot of people were kind of disappointed that Ash was not that. She's very
That Ash is
pale.
just another white girl.
Yeah, which is like, you know, that's fair. But yeah, and so now we've got to talk about something else.
Yeah,
What are we
speaking
gonna
of
talk
speaking
about?
of white girls, Sabrina
Yes.
on Netflix, the reboot.
Oh my God.
Why was that the transition? White girls. Going back to television
Blondes.
or just
Don't you just hate them?
but anyway.
Yes. So
I personally, leading up to the release, I was pretty excited for it because I know I like nostalgia and all that. Like who doesn't? And Sabrina is an iconic part of television history, and so seeing that, and I fully trust Netflix. They're doing a lot of great work with originals. My only holdback was that it was the same people that made Riverdale, and I
Yeah.
despise Riverdale.
I agree.
It's a show for pretty people.
Yeah.
Like people watch it for pretty people.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
There's no good
Well,
story.
that's
the
like all
acting's not even
CW
that
is.
great.
It's like it's
It's
just pretty
CW,
people.
so that's why
Yeah.
that's why I was like, okay, it's the same people that made Riverdale, but it's Netflix,
Yeah.
and it's already turned out better because it's
God,
got
yeah.
the Netflix supervision.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah.
it's better directed. The acting is better. The writing is better. It's just overall significantly better than
I
Riverdale.
love Aunt Helga so much. If anything bad happens to her, I've only watched the first 3 episodes so far.
Yeah, I have not completed
Yeah.
the
So
season.
don't tell us. But I love Aunt Helga with all of my heart. Like, she's so good. Yeah, on the one hand, I'm one of the people who's just like, why do we have to remake everything to be gritty? Why does everything have to be gritty? Why can't we just let it be shiny for a little bit longer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with part of the way they directed, like with Sabrina and also with Riverdale, everything's so literally dark. Like it's just so they can do cool stuff with neon lighting and stuff like that. It's aesthetic.
Yeah.
Not necessary. I grew up reading and watching like the old Archie cartoons and stuff like that. Like they're so weird and campy and bright and funny
Yeah.
and so like that's probably why I don't like Riverdale that much. Is because
Yeah.
like spitting on my childhood image of Archie.
Yeah.
But it's still, I feel like Sabrina, it stays at least more true to its original material. I feel it is a little more indulgent in that it's less about, hey, look, it's one of the Sprouse twins,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's neither of the Sprouse twins are in it.
Oh, I've got an opinion about Jughead, because in the comics he's Ace, and he even says it outright that he is Ace. He's canonically
Canonically.
asexual. That's what he is. And then they made him not in the show, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, because like I said, I'm a fan of the original Archie comics, but also
Yeah.
I think about a year ago, maybe a little longer at this point, they kind of like rebooted the Archie comics to make it a lot more like modern. And
Yeah.
it's still way better than Riverdale because
Yeah.
it's still not like ultra dark
Yeah.
teen drama.
Teen angst.
It's very like real.
Yeah.
And it doesn't confine itself to this basic plot structure that Riverdale does. It's very much character studying, which
Yeah.
I love that in writing.
Yeah, yeah. And I also have you seen the pictures? There are pictures of the cat that plays Salem on the actual red carpet. Have you seen those?
No, I have
They're
not.
the best things I've ever seen in my life. I love them so much. I'm a black cat mom, and so I super love him. Like, he's the best. He's so good. But apparently, I saw somewhere that apparently the reason why he doesn't talk in this show is because they found out on set that the actress playing Sabrina is allergic to cats. Like, she didn't know before,
Oh,
and so on set they discovered this.
just
And
now
so-
discovering like,
yeah.
what a terrible way to discover you're
Yeah.
allergic to cats.
on the job playing Sabrina, the teenage witch. Like, yeah.
Man, they have to change the show. For me.
But
Well, now I
yeah. But we
feel
do have
less
a
bad
snappy
about
cousin.
not having the cat talk.
Yeah, yeah. But now she does have a snarky cousin, so we do still get that kind of.
We still get someone snarky
yeah,
at least.
who's under house arrest for being a bad magic person. So, anyways.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, a bad magic person.
Bad magic person.
But he's great in our hearts. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Nerd Portal. Well, come on back next week and make sure and subscribe to PopNerdTV and check out PopNerdTV.com for articles, reviews, and more. You can also support us on Patreon and Teespring. And I don't know, can you think of anything else to say?
Goodbye.
Yeah, that. I think so.
Maybe.
Hi guys, welcome back to Nerd Tour. Sorry.
Can we have a nerd turtle?
Oh my god.
That'd be adorable.
He can sit here and we'll name him Fred. Anyway, okay.